Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So we will start the session. So we are in the latter part of flow charts, and let me remember you or remind you about the focus in this course. Though we have three types of flow charts, namely document flow charts, program flow charts, and system flow charts. Here we learn or focus only on document flowcharts, right? Now, even for the examination, you are expected to draw the document flowchart. Don't write or don't draw uh, the system and program flowcharts, right? So let us see what are the guidelines given in preparing flowcharts, right? So the first and most important step in drawing whatever the diagram is to understand the system very well, right? So you can interview users and even developers and other stakeholders such as auditors, management to get the requirement, right? Actually, if I tell you one example, day before yesterday, I went to a meeting in our university. So in our university, they are going to install a ERP system to the finance department, right? So your own seniors are working there as trainees, right? So they have developed document flow charts. Actually, they are very nice, right? Now they are going to install an ERP system to the finance department in the university. So two of your seniors are working there as interns. So using this knowledge, they have you know done the drawings, document flow charts. So I am one of the panel members. So I looked at that flow chart. Actually, they were nicely drawn, right? හොඳට ලියලා තිබුණා, ඇත්තටම ඇඳලා තිබුණා. මම එතන appreciate කරා. So now they have done this because of this subject, right? So what is important to identify the requirement by interviewing users, developers, and other stakeholders. And sometimes you have to get data from the questionnaire, right? So you can distribute questionnaire and get required data. And read through narratives. Small descriptions තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ දේවල් කියවලා තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. Right? Walk through system transaction කියන වලට කරලම් බලන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Now actually a same kind of system is being run in the Colombo University. So we thought of going there and do some transactions. Then we can get hands-on experience. Then we know how the proposed system should work. Right? Work through system transaction කියන්නේ ඔයාලටම කරලා බලන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද system එක වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලා. Then you can identify the system. Based on that, you can prepare the document flow charts, right? Next one is now after having an understanding about the system, the next step is to identify the entities to be flow charted. What entities the flow chart එක සඳහා යොදා ගන්න කියන එක. Sir has also joined. So right. So entity could be any person or department or unit or function, right? The parties who do things in the story. The parties, it could be a department, unit, or a person, right? So you have to get the entities to be flowcharted. මොනවද අපි flowchart කරන්න කියන එක, right? And as we focused on document flowcharts, we have to look at what are the documents or information flows. මොනවද documents ඕන වෙන්නේ කියන එක. And what are the okay. So processes, right? So these are very basic because we learned the same set of guidelines in the DFDs as well. Therefore, I will quickly go to the next one. Uh, uh, Now we showed you different shapes to draw the document flow chart. Say shapes tika mataka tiyaganna one. The reason is more emphasis is given for the physical aspect of the flow chart in the document flow chart, right? When it comes to the DFDs, it is more on the logical aspect. හැබැයි මෙතන අපිට පේන්න ඕනේ මොකක්ද මේ process එක. Is it a manual process or computer process? මොකක්ද ඒ store එක? How do we store and sort data? Is it on date order or alphabetical order? It's a physical පැත්ත තමයි ගොඩක් පේන්නේ, right? It's how you have to identify the relevant shape. Actually, as we told you last week, we hope to give these shapes to the examination. In the examination, you will be given the shapes ටික දන්නවා. ඒකෙන් අවශ්‍ය shape එක සුදුසු තැනට යොදා ගැනීම තමයි ඔයාලා කරන්න ඕනේ. මොකද ওই shapes ටික අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරන්නේ ඕනම තැනක ඒ shapes ටික තියෙනවා. අපි හිතමුකෝ ඕනම තැනක එහෙම එනවා. professional කෙනෙක් වුණාම අපි හිතමු now we want to know the company's act, but we can't remember all the things, right? But as a profession, if you know this provision is available in the Companies Act, that is enough, right? Whenever you need to refer the Companies Act, you take the Companies Act, refer the relevant section and get the knowledge. ඒ වගේම අර ඔක්කොම දේවල් මතක තියාගෙන ඉන්න බෑ. ඔය shapes ටික අපි දන්නවා practically ඔය ඔක්කොම එකිනෙකට මතක තියාගෙන අමාරු. හැබැයි අර අවබෝධයෙන් බලන්න මේකේ difference එක මොකක්ද කියලා. exam එකට අපි shapes ටික දෙන්නම් නම් කරන්නේ නැතුව දවසක කියෝ වගේ. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් කේස් එකට යූස් කරලා අද අපි කේස් එකක් කරයි ටයිම් එක අනුව. එතකොට ඒ අනුව මොකද්ද ෂේප් එක කියලා බලන්න යොදා ගන්න ෂේප් එක කියලා තීරණය කරන්න පුළුවන්. right? And this is bit important. Use separate columns for each activity. එක එක activities තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Say for example, when you order materials, ordering, right? And then maybe another activity of recording it, right? And then another activity will be receiving goods. එතකොට order කරනවා ඊට පස්සේ ඒවට අදාළ documents අපි record කරනවා ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ඒ වාහන ලැබෙනවා. ඒ වගේ activities කීපයක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. But when you draw the document flow chart, keep a separate column for each activity, right? Therefore, if a particular department has, say for example, 3 activities, you have to have 3 columns. ඒ columns ටිකත් organize කරන්න left to right. හරි? Logical order එකට පළවෙනියට කරන එක first column එකේ තියෙනවා, secondly කරන එක second column එකේ තියෙනවා, thirdly කරන එක third column එකේ තියෙනවා. Because as Asians we read from left to right. හරි? අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියවන left to right. Right? Now you can see left hand side you see the payroll. Now as per the payroll we have to pay, right? So the next side of the page, same page, the accounts payable. Okay. Now there is a question asked in this document. What are the entities in this flowchart? What are the entities? අපි කීප දෙනෙක්ගෙන් අහම් බලන්න. සර්ත් ඉන්නවා මාත් එක්කම. ඒ නිසා මේ entities මොනවද කියලා මට කීප දෙනෙක් එවන්න බලන්න. Can few of you send the entities? I might go first.
No message from anyone else. Now you can listen to me. Now when you go back to the flow charts, very beginning we told you flowcharts are by physical nature. DFDs are more logical nature. Now, logical nature, you don't want to mention the place where we are or which departments we are handling, we don't want to say. Only thing, you have to understand the scope of the situation. Say in payroll department, scope you identify, then source you identify, destination you identify, and those are the things you have to go ahead with the logical DFDs. But when you come to the flow chart, prominently used, I think many people use everywhere than the DFDs. In flow charts, you have to identify the separate departments where you handle the work. Those departments simply we can call entities. Entities mean it's a particular place where you handle the work. Now, when you go to the payroll itself, you can't finish the entire work, right? Payroll, you can process all payroll activities, preparation of the payroll and calculation of taxes and all. But when you come to payment side, the accounts clerk or accounts department, they do the payments. Then you need another part, right? Another entity you want, accounts payable part. That is, you can't include it to the payroll division. Payroll division, various departments in the time cards. Then you have to calculate the pay, the 11-month particular pay, particular person's pay. You have to calculate with taxation, deductions, go back to the time cards, check the time period where the people who work from morning to evening, the time period. Then you have to calculate the hourly work, and then you have to check their register, store the documents. Those things we call payroll preparation. That is also doing by the accounts department. But after that, you transfer your work in the same department sometimes for a payment. Payment done by another clerk or another cashier or another division. Right. Under that, I think you need a accounts payable division as well. Now, those are the two activities we call, two entities we call in this particular flow chart. We always divide the work in activity wise. The activities mean homogeneous activities together. We call one division, one department. Another homogeneous activities together we call another division or a department. That is called accounts payable. Here is another entity. Suppose after that you can be another entity also. Maybe the tax departments you want to send the money, or reports you want to send it to the directors, board of directors, management and all. Maybe another department, maybe management information system or a manager reports preparation. Another entity can be happen like that. Likewise, you have to identify, it's depend on the organization. Some organization can do all payroll and accounts payable together, but sometimes it should be a two-person's work, right? But here you can see that it's depend on the workload handled by the each division. When you read the case study carefully, there are some hints you have. Payroll is prepared by this particular division, and after that they send the right one document, payroll register, they send it to another department. Then you can realize that yes, we have another entity. Read carefully the scenario, the case, mini case, which is available to you for the exam. When you read carefully, one division, what they do, once the output of that division, they transfer another division as input, that can be the another entity. මම හිතනවා ඇති අපි කලා then we get the answers. This is the two keys. Yeah, these are the guidelines for preparing a flow charts. Whole operations you have to draw here, not like in logical form. You can hide the things, and logically you can't allow to the people everything physical by nature, whether you are in manually calculate, whether you are automatically calculate, whether you are using machine to calculate, everything you have to show separately.
Now, sir, one example for the first one. Now we have to flowchart the normal course of operation. Now, what we do now is not the normal course of operation in the university. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරන්නේ physical lecture එකක් නේ. ඒතර දැන් මේ COVID-19 හින්දා තමයි මේ online lecture series එක අපි කරන්නේ. ඒතර අපි flow chart එකක් අඳිනවා නම් අඳින්න ඕනේ අපි normal lectures වලට. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ exceptional case එකට නෙමෙයි. example එකක් සමහර.
Yes, sure. Normal work normal duties of the office. Yeah, exceptional situation, useless no, that is coming one off, and it's very rarely occurring. Yeah, we don't want to worry about that much as possible. The flow should go from top to bottom and left to right. This is as usual for other DFD as well. We use symbols. Those are standard symbols. Right, for the exam we will provide the standard symbol, but case study also provide to you. You have to draw this flow chart. That is 40 marks. Most students who got failed to draw it, they fail very badly. Clearly label all symbols. Every symbol you have to clearly label what it is on the label, pay or register, or in the voucher. Right, is what is it? You have to mention on the symbol. Use annotation mean if necessary. If you want to provide some more information, you can provide like the guidelines for preparing a flow chart. Give the flow charts a clear beginning and ending, because in DFD you don't have, you have starting with the context diagram. That is the starting point. Then the further successive diagrams coming after that. But here not like that. It looks like a start and ending, like a race. You have a start, you have ending. You have to clearly mention those things under the symbols called ellipse, oval type of symbols. You have to show that one. These are very basic, right? But we will go quickly. Yeah. Show where each document originated, then final disposition. Same thing, processors, you have input, process and output. You can't avoid that one. If you avoid that one, we will reduce the marks. Many students, I know that you forget when you do process, when you do any process symbol, don't forget to add at least one input and at least one output. Keep in your mind. We'll move to the next. Now here, identification where inputs, the oval start. After that, you have documents, right? Inputs. Documents are, this is the process. You know, your process doesn't have a, you should have inputs and output. This is output storage. Then this output should be an input to the another one. You can see here the process. And what is this, what do you call, the dotted line? You remember the dotted line is what? Right? If you don't remember the dotted line, what is dotted line? Please go back to your symbol list and find out. Then output. Output can be a register, out can be a report, out can be a document or a voucher, whatever. Every manual process should have at least one input and at least one output. We always emphasize that one. Both DFD and flowchart, both it is common. Show all data entered into or retrieved from the computer files as processed into process first. That's very essential. Many students do mistakes of that. Right? Process is very essential. Each and every process is connected to the input and output. Do not show the process symbol for forwarding document to another entity because this forwarding is not process means verb. Happening something, doing something, right? Filing a document is not a process in our case. It's a forwarding to another place. Now this is called forwarding a document.
No process.
Yeah.
Because it is just a forward.
Forward means some clerk can give it to going to give another person. Or in computer, you just like a mail, you forwarding. Mail forwarding is not a process. But when you enter something and doing, then there should be a process. These are filing, right? In between no process, just filing. Now these are, do not connect two documents except when forwarding to another column. When a document is forward, shown it in both locations, very essential. You can see in this diagram. Payroll register, one output from the payroll payment system that is called payroll register documents should be the forwarding to the accounts payable division as an input to the check and cash disbursement work. Then this is just like you have to show the both places that documents appear in the both places. Those are practical things. By while you are doing and understanding, only you can get the knowledge. Otherwise it looks like you read the how to play the piano, but without sitting in front of the piano you can't play. Even guitar also, there are so many books. I remember those days. I would like to play guitar much. Then I bought the book, but I don't have a guitar in that time. I'm a very poor person in those days. I long time back as a student in A-level, no guitar at all. But I had a book how to play the how to play the guitar. Right? I still remember that book. I don't know where it is right now, but there are so many drawings there, right? Lines, graphs, and all kind of things. Can't understand, right? Anything I can't. It looks like a flow chart, right? Once you are in the good thing playing a piano, you can read those things, all these kind of things, chords and all. But same thing here as well. Initially, you feel hard and difficult and no meaning. That lady, you remember the one students who blamed to me, can't understand on all. That is true. But you have to read the book several times, read the chapter several times, and practice several times. There are exercises each and every chapter. This book is available to you. Already they are in the system. You have to read several times. You can pick and you can learn. That is university. At least we are doing at the university. If you are with us, I think in the classroom exercise we have a lot. And with some softwares we can do. But under this COVID situation, it's impossible. You all understand. Under impossible situation, don't blame to us. When using multiple copies of a document, right? Place document numbers 1, 2, 3, set in the upper right hand corner. Now you can see this tax report 1, 2, and employee checks you have a 1, 2, payroll register you have 1, 2, but time cards is also one of the output. Is nothing connected with another one, only one report. Now when you go to here, paycheck 1, 2, payroll CD voucher 1, 2, because we have to send to another place instead of filing. I think in this case they have to file, they have to keep another copy. Pair or register, again they are filing here. Now you can see it's forwarding to the deep filing.
Number should be there.
Yes, tax report number one. Yes, that number. That's good. You can add that one.
Now, if you look at the sentence in red color, what happens to the document numbers as the documents move to another location, other locations. Now, if you can see the tax report, now it has two copies, number one and number two. Right now, if you refer the accounts payable activity or the function, so the number one copy, tax report number one is used here. The bank එකට ගියාම අතර copies තියෙනවනේ දැන් bank එක copy එකක් තියා ගන්නවා customer තව copy එකක් තියා ගන්නවා සමහර university එකෙන් සම්බන්ධ වුණාම university එකට තව copy එකක් දෙනවා. ඒතර අදාළ copy එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒකනේ දැන් අර banking system එකේ color code එකක් තියෙන්නේ. yellow color, green color, red color ඒ වගේ. right ඒ වගේ here to say what is to say the relevant copy number we have to use the number. Now here tax report number one, that copy will be forwarded to the accounts payable, not the number two. Number two එක කොහෙද යන්නේ කියලා බලන්න. Number two එක වෙන තැනකට යන්න පුළුවන් නේද?
මේකේ tax report එක ආයේ
වෙන තැනකට use කරලා නැහැ වෙනමම.
තියෙනවා see tax report ආයේ output
output process එකේ output එකක් වෙනම එකක්. ඒතර මේ number 2 copy එක වෙනත් process එකකට සම්බන්ධයි.
or the WIS file
general ledger එකට උදාහරණයක්.
Here they have connected to the D mean filing.
Yes.
Right? They are filing that copy. They tax report one copy they file in, another copy they forward to the other.
Yes, clear.
Right? That is what. Even though if you can't draw the flow chart, at least you have to interpret. You have to get the knowledge, because when you go to the big companies, I think even small companies also today they have flow charts.
මම මේකට කිය හිටියේ අපේ මේ finance division එකේ flow charts හදලා තිනවා අපේ ළමයි තමයි දැන් interns ලා ඉන්නේ. මේ ඉගෙන ගත්ත ළමයි. මට ඒවලා තිබුණා හරි ෂෝක් process.
As අපි දුන්නනේ දවස් activities to do that. Now you can see how things are very important, but this batch we can't expect such a things because initially guidelines for preparing a flow charts show on page connectors and label them clearly to avoid excess flow line. Yeah, this already there under the on the DFT as well. Then like this, you can't put a cross line for whole this, like you have to put the B is a connector in a circle and it's connected to the another place. Those are like that's a beauty of the world, right? Otherwise what you said, that electricity wiring system looks like I asked somebody else that your story, he said any problems, they are not replaced the line, they couldn't find out, they put the new lines always and අරණකක් තියෙනවා අරකට හොයාගන්න බෑ අලුත් එකක් දාලා යනවා. ඉතින් එන්න මාසයක් විතර කැඩුණා ඒක නිකන් like ජාලයක් බවට පත් වෙනවා. very they are not it takes time also and it's danger for them also. New lines put there to there then go, that's like that. Always so many lines one on one. That's the thing. Now what is the next one?
Off page connectors.
Yeah, off page connectors also use this. You can see the answers also there.
This is linked to another page.
Not
the same page, not the same page, but it is linked.
Now this is a one page divided to payroll and accounts payable is one page. If you go to another page, this is one page. B and B is a
one page
connector. When you go to the next page, page number now, suppose this is a page 1, then page number 2, then you have to put like this. Off page connector. Interesting. Yeah, this is if a flow chart takes more than one page, label the pages 1 of 5. That is paging of page number. Show documents or report first in the column where they are created. Yes, that's also simple. Start with the rough draft they redesigned to avoid the clutter and cross line. Yes, always, even DFB also draft. First, you can make a draft. Maybe second one also you can be a draft. But finally, you can make a very neat and nice and with proper way, with a preparator name, preparator's date, final copy. It looks like a architecture, drawings. You can find out the date of time and everything they put at the end, something like that. Verify the accuracy of your flowchart by reviewing it with the users, and again you have to check with your feedback. You can get them and check the you say walk around and all kind of things you have to do and check the whether exact things you have drawn or not. If you can draw this one, it's like an architectural job. Honestly speaking, architectural job, and it's an internal control process.
Yeah.
And you can measure the strongness of the internal control process. If internal cost control is the most important thing in the organization, we have a weak internal control system, accountants can't play the good role.
So
Measure the strength of the internal control system. Internal control system you can't see until you draw it. Right? Maybe you can feel if you are working, voucher going from here and there, but outsiders can't see. Right? Some people argue with that, you wait a lot of time, we have to wasting and all this. Maybe some kind of internal control weaknesses. Those things you can clarify as an efficiency system is concerned. Yes.
දැන් ඔයාලා සර් කිව්වා draft versions කීපයක් එන්න ඕනේ final version එක එන්න කලින් කියලා. ඒ නිසා දැන් ඔන්න ඔය process එකේදී තමයි අර visual වගේ software එකක් අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. මොකද ඒක easily edit කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඕනම වෙලාවක edit කර කර යන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් දැන් ඔයාලා manually තමයි අඳින්න වෙන්නේ because you don't have that visual software. When you draw it manually, normally sir they can use a pencil. Right? You can use the pencil to draw the draft, and then with the eraser you can do whatever the modifications. What to do නේ sir. හැබැයි software එක තිබ්බනම් drag and drop එහෙට මෙහෙට ඇදලා දාලා ඒක වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක අර lines පවා එක automatically හදා ගන්නවා. අපි ගිය පාර sir DFDs පවා ඇඳලා මේ issue එකේ.
ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිටියනම් මෙහෙ අපිට assignments එහෙම දීලා අපේ campus එකේ අන්දවන්න තියෙන්නේ accounts එකට දාලා තියෙනවා. Practicability after the ඉගන්න වෙලාව ඉයක් නැහැ.
Okay, I told you that we are not going to discuss the system flowchart in detail, but it is how the system works. System එක වැඩ කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එකයි තියෙන්නේ. මම වැඩි කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ මොකද ඒක අපේ focus එකෙන් out of the focus නිසා. එතකොට මෙතන පේනවා කම්පියුටර් එකක තියෙන process එකක් අපි කෙලින්ම ඒ කියන්නේ input process output කියන එක කොහොමද තියෙන ඕනම තැනක මේවා සාමාන්‍ය දේවල් outputs කියන ඒවා ඒක නම් කිව්වේ it is same basic input process output pattern that we saw in the document flow chart. ඒ නිසා ඔක අනිවාර්යෙන්ම කොහේ වුණත් තියෙනවා. Now this is an example for a system flow chart. System එක වැඩ කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා තමයි තියෙන්නේ. එතන sales terminal එක තියෙනවා. එතනින් data input කරනවා. Then edit sales data and print customer receipt. Right? So customer receipt will be coming. Likewise, how the system works. System එක කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ කියන එක තමයි මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. When you go to a supermarket and when you buy a good, right, you go to that the counter and give that good to the cashier. Then cashier enter that data into the terminal, then you get the receipt and the goods, then you can leave. Right? So the system එක වැඩ කරන විදිහ තමයි system flow chart එකකින් කරන්නේ. We have two questions, sir.
Hmm.
In the practical world, does an accountant have to draw flowcharts manually, or does it have a special software to do it? Yeah, you have a special software to do that, Lama, because manual drawing is very cumbersome and very complicated process. We make a එකපාරින් final output එක එන්නේ නැහැ, right? First time a final output එක එන්නේ නැහැ. You have to have many draft version 1 2 3 4 and so on so forth. එතකොට මේ draft versions ගන්නකොට manually මේක කරන එක practically අමාරුයි. අතට මට අද පුළුවන් වුණොත් මම අර අපේ ළමයි අදපු ඒවා පෙන්නන්න. ඒ නිසා Visual කියන software එකෙන් තමයි අදින්න ඕනේ. Visual කියන software එක Microsoft වල තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේ තවත් software තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, but usually we based on Microsoft products like Office package. So in the Office package there is a software called Visio, 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 right? Using that software you can easily draw these diagram. It could be a DFT, it could be a document flowchart, system flowchart, or whatever. ඕනම shape එකක් එතන තියෙනවා. එකකින් අඳ ගන්න පුළුවන්. accountants වලට මේක අඳින්න වෙනවා ළමයි. right? අපි මුලම කතා කරා introduction එකේ අලුතෙන් system එකක් develop කරනකොට accountant has to give the requirement. Otherwise, there will be a gap between the proposed system and the requirement. අන්න එතකොට තමයි හැම වෙලෙම කියන්නේ මේ system එක වැඩක් නැහැ කියන්නේ. අපේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ තියෙන ළමයි systems ගොඩාක් develop කළා, but we are not using. The reason is these systems do not match with the user requirement. Then waste of money මට බර්සා කිව්වස මිලියන ගණක් ඉදන් කරලා තියෙනවා මේ software හදන්න faculties අතරේ. හැබැයි they are not using this software. The reason being the system doesn't match with the user requirement. So there is a big role to accountants as you to play in this activity to tell the developers the real requirement. Real requirement. එතෙන්දි මම තව practical example එකක් කියන්නම්. මේ requirement එක කියනකොට ඔයාලා existing operation එකම කියන්න එපා. හරි? අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි උපදෙස් දෙන්නේ sir existing operation එක draw කරන්න ඊට පස්සේ බලන්න sir කිව්වාගේ internal control. Right? Internal control බැලුවට පස්සේ like efficiency and effectiveness and like prevention of frauds and other controls ඒව බැලුවට පස්සේ improved version එකක් එයි. අන්න ඒ improved version එක තමයි ඔයාලා develop කරගන්න ඕන software developer කියලා. නැත්තම් වෙන්නේ existing software එක map කරනවා document කරනවා ඒක දෙනවා developer ට ඊට පස්සේ developer කින් ආවට පස්සේ කියනවා ඉතින් මේක secure නෑනේ. මේ control එක නෑනේ. ඉතින් අර developer ට ඒක another work එකක්. එක පැත්තකින් සල්ලි යනවා. System developers bill us based on their effort and time. redo කරනවා කියන්නේ අපි management accounting වල ඉගෙන ගන්නවා redo කරනවා කියන waste එකක්. So your task is before we hand over that drawings to the developer, right? We have to look at what is the final version, what is the improved version in terms of internal controls. ඒක මතක තියාගන්න මේක. ඒවට තමයි ඒක කරන්න වෙන්නේ. Right? I think that I answered for the question. There is a special software which is called as MS Visio. Just check whether you can get a trial version at least. We have license versions. Unfortunately, we can't use this software this time because of this COVID reason. Sorry, Microsoft. MS Visio කියන software එක බලන්න trial version එකක් තිබුණොත් අරන් බලන්න YouTube වල tutorial ඇති එකෙන් draw කරන්න බලන්න. The next question is so if there are situations where documents are transferred to external parties, how can we demonstrate those in flow? Or don't we demonstrate those situations? කාට හරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ඔයාලා බැලුවොත් එන entity එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා මම චුට්ටක් අපස්සට ගියොත් එහෙම. අද අපි පටන් ගත්ත එතනින්
අපි to employee the check එකක් දෙනවා නම් that's all. It's a third party. Just show the documents copy.
Oh.
We are not drawing the employee side now.
Yes.
Just so shortly.
Maybe identify the entities to be flowcharted. බලන්නකො එතන departments functions and the third one external parties. Therefore even an external party could be an entity. දැන් අපි හිතමු tax report එක දෙන්නේ inland revenue department එකට. So it could be an entity. හරි මොකද ඒක යන තැන තියෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් නැත්නම් ඒක සිස්ටම් එකේ report එක තියෙ කොහෙටවත් යන්නේ නැහැ නේ.
ඒ වුණාට යන තැන සුදුනට
එතන process එක
එතන process එක අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ
නැහැ. එතන process එක අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
යන තැන තියෙනවා.
ඔව්.
It's another entity.
Yeah.
Entity where we submit the report.
Another question, sir. That's good that if you ask questions, Lama, you can learn, and even we can learn from the questions, and we can think about other dimensions. Can accountant earn money by drawing flowcharts to another? Yes, Lama. Ar architect kila sir kiwe e wage thamai. So these are architectural drawings.
Man ehema karala hoyna sir. My budget deficit I cover from drawing a flowchart for the private companies.
And sir, so you can couple this technique with
your computer science
plus the analysis part. On the critical mind එකක් තියෙනවා නම් system analyst කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ අන්න ඒක.
But the one thing I want to tell you, it's only very difficult. You need a team.
Yeah. Team, sir.
When you want to draw the flowchart, practically it's a team. It's a team. Now I also join with several teams and do and help the work. Otherwise, I can't do very small system. We can sit and do, but it's a team effort.
ඇත්තටම ඔයාලා දැකලා තියෙන සිස්ටම් ඇනලිස්ට් කියලා ප්‍රොෆෙෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ like consultants ලා advisors ලා වගේ සිස්ටම් ඇනලිස්ට් කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ ඒ වගේ consultant කෙනෙක්. එතෙන්දී එයාගේ රෝල් එකට මේ flow charts draw කරන එක part and parcel. Right? Therefore you can earn money. මම සේලාවක් තිබුණා තරක චුට්ටක් පෙන්නන්න අපේ ළමයින්ද කියලා.
පෙන්නන්න දැන්.
ඊමේල් එකකින් ගන්නවා ඉතින්
මම මෙතන කරන්නේ
ඒක තමයි. මම මෙතන තමයි හිටියේ සිස්ටම් ෆ්ලෝ charts අපි වැඩි කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයාලගේ එක්සෑම් එකේ අහන්නෙත් නැහැ. Program flow chart,
but differences you should go to understand.
Yes. So this is a system.
We are talking about the documentation flow chart. System flow charts, program flow charts. We don't want, but you have to know what is it is.
What it is, yeah. System is, always system has three components: input, process, and output. A system එක ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක තමයි system flow chart එකෙන් පෙන්නන්නේ. Simple example එක මම දුන්නේ when you go to a supermarket to buy a product, so what is the system operating there? හරි ඒ system එක draw කරන එක තමයි එතන වෙන්නේ. අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා කතා කරේ document flow වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන්නේ. ඊළඟට program flow chart කියන අර system එකේ තියෙන එක main component එකක් තමයි process එක. හරි logical process එක. දැන් අපි හිතමු if you go to a supermarket to buy a product, right, say chocolate, right, so the cashier has to, it is basically self-service. You have to pick the product and you come to the cashier, right, the counter. So cashier has to do a process, right? And a process එක කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියන එක. දැන් like if you now cashier usually ask whether you have a loyalty card, sir. So it is a question, right?
Yes,
the program එකට දෙනවා yes or no. If yes, give me the number. Now it goes to another step. If no, she might ask or he might ask another question. Do you want to apply for a new card? If yes, another process. If no, normal process. Right? අර එතන තියෙන process එක තමයි දැන් logical aspect එක බලන්නේ. Logical sequence එකට අපි බලනවා. ඒක තමයි program flow chart කියන්නේ. එතන system එකක් develop කරනකොට ඒ කියන්නේ IT system එකක් කරනකොට මේ program flow chart එක ඕනේ. Especially for IT developers. Computer science.
If you want to computerize the system, you want program
flow charts. Now see, this is very clear diagram where you can left hand side you can see the system flow chart. Simple system, right? Input like your product details, process like processing the payment, output will be the receipt and the good, right? Then the cashier, once the cashier process the payment, information or the data goes to the storage,
normally cloud එකේ හරි on premises හරි save වෙනවා. Now look at the other side, right hand side. That particular process has been drawn as a program flowchart. ඒ process එක තමයි draw කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර input data එනවා. ඒතර වෙනම symbol එකක් තියෙනවා. A condition. If a condition is met, like if the customer has a loyalty card, if yes, process another process, right? If no, another process. ඒතර ඒක දිගට යනවා. මම හිතන්නේ මේක බොහොම clear සර්. system flow chart එකක් සහ program flow chart එකක් අතර වෙනස තේරුම් ගන්න. ඒතර program flow chart එකක් කියන්නේ a part of the system flow chart. System flow chart එකේ තියෙන එක part එකක්. part එක තමයි මොකද්ද? process එක කියන එක. අර computer scientist කෙනෙක් කොහොමද ඒක programming ලියන්නේ? programming language එකකට convert කරනකොට අවශ්‍ය විදිහ තමයි program flow chart එකේ පෙන්නන්නේ. අතන මේවට coding ලියන්න ඕනේ. coding ලියන්න ඕනේ. C++ Java එහෙම තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේ ලියන්න ඕනේ. Very interesting, sir. Sir, we have one student in the final year. He is a system developer. Right? Now he came to me to ask whether he can cover the internship requirement. Right? So it was very interesting, sir. Now he came to me and said that, sir, I am doing my own business. I am a system developer. Right? I asked, sir, how did you learn? He gave me an interesting question, sir. Interesting answer. He said, sir, I haven't gone to any class, but purely I learned all this stuff from YouTube. Right? Now he is a system developer. ඔයාලට ඕන නම් meet කරන්න යාළුවෝ ජනිත් කියලා final year බලන්න. එයා system developer කෙනෙක්. ඉතින් මම හැත්තටම happy වුණා. මොකද today we have to have entrepreneurs ළමයි. Right? If you want to be entrepreneur, right, you have to have this mindset. Right? Like you could be a system analyst by knowing these things, right? ඒතර ගොඩක් දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට දැන් හිතන්නකෝ ලංකාවේ SME sector එක 90%, right? Many people talk about the big companies, but it's still 10% of the number of companies, right? But if you can be a good system analyst, right, you can serve to our country by developing the SME sector. If the SME sector is developed in country, the economy will be developed.
That is what education is. That university education means university education is not like spoon feeding.
Yes.
Right. Some students, they thought that everything she wants to know the understandable way. We are just giving a guidelines and availability books and all resources also given to you, but you can learn more other than us. Now, we are sparked you have to continue your work. Now, the janitor starting his own work after studying little bit with us, and after that his own way he has gone. Yeah, then you also think about that. අපි අතින්ගල් නම් ගිහලා යුනිවර්සිටි ඉස්සර ගන්න නැහැ, not like in school. School එකේ එහෙම නැහැ නේද? We are giving an idea. You have to follow. Yeah, guidance. You have to follow. And you have to go more than that. That is what university education is.
I got a special permission from the department, and I allowed him. So he's running his own business, right? So doing that, he can fulfill the internship requirement. So ඔයාලගේ තියෙන මේ වගේ ideas doesn't matter, come to us, we will help you. Right? නිසා ඒක හරි වැදගත් ළමයි. If you have a vision and desire, you can do it. Right? So what is lacking, you should normally you are not having that vision, that passion, that desire.
Oh, not only that, they have a vision somehow, but they are not studying something in depth. That's what my concern. Once we teach this documentation, then if you want to be a master, you have to read the book, you have to draw the things, and then you have to listen to the YouTube and some other resources are download, and you have to be a master. But the missing part from our undergraduates today, You are not became a master with that topic or that subject. If you became a master, career path automatically open. Automatically open. You can go ahead, but the one student asking that, can you earn money? Yes,
Yes.
you can. All audit, not audit firms, software companies, they are looking for people who are good in documentation. When the accounting softwares come, always I get a call and send some few trainers. Right?
And so one classic example is IFS in Sri Lanka. IFS is a software company which produces well-known ERPs. CEO of that company is one of our own graduates. There are many managers. One manager called me yesterday, sir. Right? Now there is a nice story, so I will reveal it now. Now they are willing to offer a well-known ERP at free of charge to us. මම ඒක සර් අලුත්ම නිවුස් එකක් කියන්නේ මේ CEO ඉන්නේ IFS කම්පැනි එකේ අපේ ග්‍රැජුවේට් කෙනෙක්. ඉතින් මට ඊයේ කතා කරා. ඉතින් එයාලා කැමති මිලියන ගාණක් වෙන ERP එකක්.
Student version.
No sir, enterprise version එකක් දෙනවා කියලා. Yes. Only thing is Oracle එකත් එක්ක database එකට කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක අපි negotiate කරගෙන යනවා sir. මම මේ අද මේ hot news එකක් මම කියන්නේ ඊයේ රෑ එකක්. ඉතින් ඔන්න අපේ ළමයි ඉන්න තත්ත්වය ළමයි. ඒ වගේ තත්ත්වවල තමයි අපි ළමයි ඉන්නේ.
This is the now another thing I want to add you. Another 10 years a time, accounting go with accounting software. Accounting, other just the accounting non-existent.
Yeah.
It's always going with the softwares. I have a little doubt about that. Now, Morocco University, they have that facility. They already start the faculty of business. Maybe the accounting also they can offer. They can go to the accounting.
They are teaching.
Yeah, they are teaching. They are accounting softwares also. They can. Yes, they are good. They have a software people. We are not in such a strong yet, but we have idea inside our department also. We have to go with the accounting software development side. That's one of our ideas anyway. We'll think about the later those new developments with you once you come back to here. Next one. Flowchart, difference between exercise this one. මේ හරි කතා කළේ නෑ මේ ඩිෆරන්ස් එක නේ අර
ඩිෆරන්ස් එක නේ සර් ඕකේ
අදුනේ
ඒකෙත් මෙතන මේ
ෆ්ලෝ chart එකේ DFD එකේ වෙනස ඊට පස්සේ එන්නේ අර පොඩ්ඩක් DFD එක කම්පියුටරයිස් කරපුවම ඇති වෙන වෙනස ෆ්ලෝ chart එකේ ඇති වෙන වෙනස We will move to the difference. Yeah, last example. Difference between flowchart versus DFD. Flowchart versus DFD mean difference between flowchart and DFD. Based on this small exercise, part of the exercise, we can explain this one very well. We have examined both flowcharts and DFDs in depth right now. There are few differences. You know, always differences arise because physical nature. Flowcharts are more physical nature. DFDs are more logical nature. DFD places heavy emphasis on the logical aspect of the system. It's already there in the slideshow. Flowcharts places more emphasis on physical characteristics of the system. Anyways, these two have on differences. When you look at this exercise, the registrar office of a small college receive paper enrollment. You write application like a tuition class. You give application form with your name and all, right, to the particular clerk or a particular person. They sort these records alphabetically, then update the student's record file, to show the new classes. They also prepare class list from the same data, subjects they study, about to study. The shortened enrollment forms and forward to the BERSA office billing purposes, payment purposes. Class lists are mailed to the faculty members. Now here you can identify simply what are the inputs and outputs within. Now in this system doesn't work input, process and output. Without input, without process, without output, no systems are working. Now when you go to the tuition classes, you fill the form and submit it. That is the input. Paper enrollment form is the input. Then somebody else inside the organization, they have checked the records, they have checked the short these records alphabetically, and those and update the students record file. Those things we call process. And from that process, they prepare two lists. One is prepare class list, right? And shortened enrollment forms are forwarded to the BERSA office for the billing purpose. One output for the BERSA, another output for the faculty member to understand the students' attendance. We'll see how we draw under DFD that one. A student comes with enrollment form and update the student records. For that student records, this is not a context diagram, this is level 0 diagram. Students' records are the filing, that is stores, and from this output, from this process, there is output enrollment forms right after updating, and then prepare class list is another process. There are two processes here. One send it to the what I said BERSA, another one send it to the class list. Now this is very simple under DFD, but look in the other side, this is a flow chart. Now how complicated? It's not complicated but simple. Student enrollment form is a voucher type document and short in manual, right? Short in manual. And again, shorted enrollment form after shorted ABC like that. And then update the student records also manual when they are filing, right? After filing, you can see here, right? Then again, shorted enrollment forms, one output come from updated record process. And a prepare class list. From class list, there are two outputs. Class list, shorted enrollment form, one for the faculty, one for the person. Look, difference between, clearly you can see the difference between flowchart and DFD. Flowcharts and DFD. Now one thing I want to tell you, if I can change the earlier case, small part of the case, little difference, how the difference arises also you have to understand clearly. Go back to the next slide. Clearly, now see, let's change the story so that students enter enrollment data online. Earlier, manual. Now go to the online. This is an improvement. And now how the DFD and flowcharts totally going to difference you can see. And registrar office send tape file, maybe CD, right, for the enrollment data to the BERSA office, and paper list register. Faculty is always like a paper. Paper is not hard copy. Right. We'll see now based on these small differences compared to earlier one, how DFD going to change. DFD you feel nothing change. No, there are small changes there. We'll see the original one you have on the left hand side. See the right hand side. Next one. Yes. Instead of the form, it should be data. That's all. Nothing. Earlier one form you have, now you got a data. Yeah, that is same now. The paper one, both class list. Both sides you have class list. It's a paper form. And the other thing is data, because online. Right? Now DFD you can't see big difference, very logical. Instead of the form, it should be data. Physical one, total changes. Now you can see physical one, next one, read the earlier one, look the new one. Now the shapes, symbols going to be different. Students come, what is this symbol? Tape record system, the square symbol, and the students enroll online, like through computer, through the terminal, then update the records, right? Totally based on the computerized process is this, right? Enrollment data, then Bursa to send that one, and student records, it's a hard disk you keep it, and then prepare class list, that is also through computer, then finally it happens. Now, small thing doing a changes instead of the, manual one to the online, whole process, physical system, whole process, symbols and mechanisms, everything is going to be changed. The logical one, it doesn't arise more. Logical is still only formed to be a data. That's what I told you. DFDs are logical, and flowcharts are more physical. What do you think for the exam? You want DFD or a flowchart? Give me a little, or a both. I want to see some message from you. You see, if you are silence, we give both. I feel silent. Then we will give both. Silent. No mail, no chat, nothing. Right. That means you feel preferring the both. Okay, go to the next. අපි නම් දෙකක් තියෙන එකක් හදමු. This is flow charts differences here. Alright, make a piano ගහනවා වගේ වැඩක් කියවනේ හරි. Now go explain.
Okay, right. So, having understood about the DFDs and flowcharts, let's get into the last type of documentation technique. Like visible than the DFDs. That might be the reason that Sir explained that in the research they have found that like 60 to 70% of users prefer to flowcharts in contrast of DFDs. මොකද අපිට අඳින්න අමාරු නාට එකෙන් ගොඩක් අර physical understand කරන්න ලේසි.
Highly understand.
Yeah, but අඳින්න එක අමාරුයි. ඕකනේ සාමාන්‍ය nature එක. ඕනම අමාරු දෙයක් කරාට පස්සේ ඒකේ ප්‍රතිඵලය සුන්දරයි. මොකද කරන එක අමාරුයි. හරි? ඒතර ඒක අඳින්න එක අමාරුයි flow chart එක. But if you can use a software like Visio, and if you can take all the symbols with you, then it will be like drawing a plan to a house. ඒ වගේ draw කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ තවත් documentation technique එකක් තමයි business process diagram, right? So it is also a visual way to represent the activities. This is very important, right? Activities in a business process. What are the activities? Not the data flow, not the document flow. Here the focus is given to activities. What are the activities, right? This is very much related to the management accounting. All the මතකයි activity based costing. Sir is an expert in that. Activity based costing තමයි basic වෙන්නේ. But if you go to a higher level of management accounting, subjects or topics, there is a topic called activity based management. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ activities ටික කොහොමද manage කරන්නේ? Like you can divide into what are the value adding activities, what are the non value adding activities. You can eliminate non value adding activities. Therefore, you can increase the efficiency and effectiveness. දැන් අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා දැක්කා අතනට manual form එක fill කරන එක ඒක computer එකට බාර දෙන්න පුළුවන්. One classic example is even you might have applied for the university using a hard form. But now students can apply online. Very simple. UGC has introduced online application. බලන්න ඉස්සර application යවන්න ඕනේ, ඒක purchase කරන්න ඕනේ, cost එකක් එනවා. ඒක අය එවන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට two way. හරි. මුද්දර ගාස්තු වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ කාලයක් යනවා සතියක් දෙකක්. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක process කරලා advertise කරන්න සෑහෙන කාලයක් යනවා. Now see, as it is online now, we can quickly send the application and students can fill the application quickly. එතකොට ඒ activities ටික manage කරගුවහම non value adding activities eliminate කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ value adding activities විතරයි. හරි? ඉතින් අන්න ඒ activities ටික map කරන එක තමයි document කරන එක තමයි business process diagram එකේ කරන්නේ. Right? Always we have been emphasizing new අපි කරමින් ඉන්නවා මේ ඔයාලට emphasize කරමින් ඒ තමයි මේ තියෙන system එකම develop කරන්න එපා. දැන් ඉස්සෙල්ලා පෙන්නවා improved version එක. ඒ වගේ business process diagram එකේ diagram එකේ you might start with the existing activities, but after going through it, reviewing it, you might identify the non-value adding activities, you might eliminate them, and you will keep only the value adding activities that will be the improved version of the business process diagrams, right? The intent or the objective of this is to give an easy understanding about the process, right? Process එක ගැන understanding එකක් දෙන්න තමයි මෙතන බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. එතකොට modeling කරන්න ලේසි. ඔයාලගේ subject එකක් තියෙනවා accounting modeling කියලා. ඒතර ඒ වගේ දේවල් වලට ලේසි වෙනවා business process එක හොඳට understand කරගන්න. එතකොට organizational unit එකක් කොහොමද එයාලගේ activities perform කරන්න කියලා idea එකක් වෙනවා. If you take department of accounting or a unit of that like ARC, then you know that how ARC is doing its activities. මෙන්න මේකට එන්න මේක interesting. මේකේ තියෙනවා symbols ටික. දැන් ඔන්න දැන් මේ symbols ටික ඔක්කොම ඉගෙන ගත්තාම සර් වෙන්නේ දැන් jam එකක් වගේ. අරවත් මතකයි මේකත් මතකයි. ඒකයි we thought of giving these symbols. ඒවත් එපා නම් කියන්න. You might say that we are experts, so we can remember everything.
So one student argued with me last time, expert studied at ACBP.
Okay, so if so, let us know, then we will not give the symbols as well, right? So these are the symbols commonly used in business process diagrams. Okay, now start and begin. ඔයාලට මතකයි නම් document flow chart එකේ මේකට තියෙන oval එකක්. නේ? මෙන්න මේ වගේ oval එකක් තියෙනවා. හරි? ඒක common වුණා start එකටයි end එකටයි දෙකටම. මතකද? හැබැයි මෙතන ඒකේ තියෙන circle එකක් but it has a slight difference. පොඩි වෙනසක් තියෙනවා. start එකේ තියෙන නිකන් thin line එකක් outline එක. හැබැයි end එකේ තියෙන thick line එකක්. bold line එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඕව හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ activity in a process like you record something, you store something, right? You sort something, you advise something. ඒ වගේ activities. ඔන්න rectangle එක ස්වරූපෙන් තියෙනවා. Decision, this is commonly used. මෙන්න මේ shape එක තියෙනවා. Flow of data and annotation information. ඒ කියන්නේ explanation එකක් අවශ්‍ය වෙන information. Right? Help explain a business process. What is the meaning of like in the university අපි හිතමුකෝ department තෝරනකොට ඉස disco එක ගැන බලනවා. ඒතකොට ඒ බලන process එක තව පැහැදිලි කරන්න ඕන annotation එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි මම හිතන්නේ මේ shapes ටික පැහැදිලි. මේකේ තියෙන තව එක speciality එකක් තමයි දැන් මෙතන තියෙන activities මතක තියාගන්න. activities තියෙන්නේ ඔයාලට පේනවා ඒ employee කරන activity එක මොකක්ද කියලා. එතන මේක බොහොම ලේසි delegate කරන්න, responsibility එක බාර දෙන්න, accountability එක ගන්න. හරි? මොකද මෙතෙක් කල් අපි යනපු diagrams වල we did not say this classification. ඒ කියන්නේ එක එක employee මොනවද කරන්නේ activities කියලා තිබුණේ නැහැ. මේක ඇඳනම් ඔයාලා government organizations වල තේරුම් ගනි කොච්චර excess staff ඉන්නවද කියලා. මං කියව මතක ඇති දෙහිවල ගල්කිස්ස මහනගර සභාවේ ෆොටෝකොපි මැෂින් එකට 3 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ෆොටෝකොපියක් ගහන්න 3 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. එතකොට ඒ activity එක කරන්න right there are 3 employees. හරි එතන මේ business process diagram එක ඇඳනම් to get a photocopy there are 3 employees. Right? Nowadays, actually, we don't need an employee to get a photocopy. We can do it on our own. What is the waste of, what kind of waste? Waste and improvements on many avasthawa. Make it now, say for example, now this is very important, right? අපි මතකද කතා කරා SNS company එකේ මතකද ඉස්සෙල්ලාම DFD කතා කරා. Right? Level 0, sorry, context diagram and level 0. Then the same company we use for the flowchart. Flowcharts. On a company, SNS company, business process diagram එක ඇඳලා තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට මතකයි නම් අර new employee කෙනෙක් එනවා, employee form එක fill කරනවා, ඊට පස්සේ human resources department එකේ change form එක තියෙනවා නේ. ඒකෙන් payroll process වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ accounts payable එක report කරනවා. Susan was there, Ashton was there. දැන් බලන්න මේ කෙනා කරන activities ටික පේනවා. New employee, now this is a start. Complete new employee form. Right? Then the next level, because that is done by another unit or the department, human resources department, again a process is started. Complete employee change form. ඒ දෙකම එකතු වෙලා තමයි payroll process එකට එන්නේ. හරි? payroll process එකේදී start එකක් තියෙනවනේ. මොකද හැම process එකක්ම start එකක් තියෙනවා. බලන්න ඒකේ හැම එකේම process එකේ start එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? Receive employee time cards from departments. Departments වලින් time cards ලැබෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ prepare employee paychecks and payroll summary. ඊට පස්සේ prepare payroll register and tax report. හරි? එතකොට ඒ අනුව ඒකේ output එක ලෙස update employee payroll file එකේ ඒ process එකකින් පස්සේ output එකක් දෙනවා. This is an output. ඊට පස්සේ accounts payable වලට අර tax report එක යනවා. payroll register එකයි tax report එකයි යනවා. ඒ accounts payable clerk කරනවා prepare tax check, total payroll check and disbursement voucher. සුසාන්ට එනවා ඒ ටික සහ summary එක. එයා summary එකත් බලලා check එකත් බලලා ඒ දෙක verify කරලා approve කරනවා and sign. මේ ඔක්කොම processes තියෙනවා. activities තියෙනවා. හරි? ඊට පස්සේ සුසාන් disburse කරනවා check ටික. ඊට පස්සේ forward කරනවා cash disbursement vouchers. අවසානට අෂ්ටන් ඒවා update කරගන්නවා GL එකේ. එතනත් එක්කට process එකේ එන්න එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අතර මේක අමාරු කාර්යයක්. මේක map කරනවා කියන එක අමාරු කාර්යයක්. Business process diagram shows the activities performed, right, in a business or unit by each employee or each category of employees. ඒතර මෙතන delegation කරන්න ලේසි, internal controls දාන්න ලේසි එක එක කට්ටියට. දැන් අපිට photocopy උදාහරණ ගත්තොත් එහෙම why we need 3 employees, we can take 2 employees to another process. නේ? ඒක තමයි ලංකාවේ ගොඩක් තැන්වල තියෙන employees ලා අඩුයි කියනවා සමහර තැන්වල. දැන් සමහර තැන්වල ගුරු හිඳ කියනවා. හැබැයි සමහර ඉස්කෝල දෙනවා excess. ඒ අර management එක නෑ, mismanagement.
මේකේ තව එකක් තියෙනවා. දැන් if you study I think HR, job description, job analysis, very easily you can prepare a job description.
Yeah,
Susan job description form is this, Susan job is this, Aston job is this. You can easily prepare a job description.
Yeah, that is very good observation, sir. ඒ කියන්නේ sir කියන්නේ ඔයාලා HRM වල ඉගෙන ගන්නවා job description කියන. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක්ද what is the job, what is the activities to be performed by the employee. ඒතර මේකෙන් හොඳට පේනවා particular employee කෙනෙක් කරන වැඩ ටික. ඒතර which is nothing the job description. හරි. ඒතර එයාට කියන්න පුළුවන් these are my works. ඒතර out of the scope work එකක් දුන්නොත් එයාට කියන්න පුළුවන් no this is not my work. හරි. ඊළඟ දේ තමයි මේ responsibility සහ accountability. මොකද මෙයා දැන් අපි ගත්ත සුසාන් කරන්නේ approve කරන එකයි sign කරන එකයි. හරි. එතකොට එයාගේ අතින් වරදක් වුණොත් මේ process එකේදී එයා වග කියන්න ඕන. එයා responsible. හරි. ඒකට අර responsibility එක accountability එක transfer කරන්න බොහොම පැහැදිලිව මේක use කරන්න පුළුවන් සර් කිව්වා වගේ ඒ employee කරන activities ටික පැහැදිලිව මෙතන තියෙනවා. හරි. so දැන් සර් ගත්තොත් එහෙම lecturing, then supervising, then administration ඒ වගේ activities ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. හරි. එතකොට පැහැදිලිව job description එක පේනවා. That's all, sir.
Move to the exercise now.
Okay, so please take the class activity which has been uploaded to the LMS, take it out and read it. Sorry, stop.